I don't know where to start. All right. Fuck it. I'm going to go with the most vivid memory. This weekend, I had the greatest weekend of my life. About, I don't know how many months ago, the wonderful, the generous, the always classy, and sometimes sassy, Randy Bauman from WDVE in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who basically, he helped build me in that market. You know, I wasn't selling shit. I wasn't selling any tickets in Pittsburgh. And I think Billy Gardell told me about him. I can't remember how the hell the thing went down, but he has got this great morning radio show. And he said, listen, next time you come to Pittsburgh, come in, fly in on a Monday night. I'll have you on the radio Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You run your freckled face for the 4 days, and we'll get you going in this market. He helped build me up and all that type of stuff. As if that wasn't enough. So he turned that weak market into one of my strongest cities to go to. And it is such a great city to go to. As if that wasn't enough. Old Randy Bauman called me up, I don't know how many months ago, and he says, listen, would you be interested in doing stand-up at the, Mario Lemieux has a fantasy camp, and it raises money for cancer research and all this type of stuff. It's just this great thing. You come in, you do stand-up, you meet some of the guys. He always has some of the guys he played with. They're hanging out, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, absolutely. That's all it started as, was just this little thing. And then he calls me back. He goes, hey, don't you play hockey a little bit? I'm like, yeah, I try. He goes, well, hey, they have, the camp, everybody plays hockey. They have like 4 teams. They play each other and all that type of stuff. If you want to come on and play with one of the teams one day, you play where the Penguins play and all that, would you like to do that? I'm like, absolutely. Of course I would. So long story short, I show up and I bring my pads and I bring all the stuff because I just think it's just going to be a pickup game of hockey. And I don't know, without getting like tacky and just saying all the stuff that they gave everybody who it's ridiculous. You show up, they give you a friggin' hockey bag with your goddamn name on it, and inside there is all the stuff. The socks, the gloves, the jersey, a helmet, the whole thing. Then all you have to do is just bring your pads, you're good, and a stick, and you're fine. And next thing you know, you're playing hockey where the Penguins play. Oh, and you also go to the hockey game. It's too much to even try to describe. So anyways, we do the stand-up show. I don't know who's in the crowd other than Mario Lemieux, and I don't want to know. I don't want to fucking know who's there because they're legends. And, of course, I go on stage, I look to the right, and there's Mario Lemieux sitting there. It's like you can hide when you're 6'6". And thank God I saw him smiling and he was laughing. Long story short, at the end of it, I met like 7 or 8 guys that I grew up watching. I don't know. It was the sickest thing ever. I don't know. It was unbelievable. Paul Coffey, other than Bobby Orr, the greatest friggin' defenseman of all time, Theo Fleury, Brian Trottier. It was insane. It was fucking insane. The whole Ty Domi. That they were all in the crowd. Thank God I didn't know. Thank God I didn't know. Jesus Christ. It was my head's spinning right now. And we ended up going out, we're playing on the ice. Trottier is our coach. Lemieux's on the other team with Paul Coffey. Mark Recchi was on my team. 2 years removed from winning a Stanley Cup, I'm playing with this guy. And it was insane. And then a bunch of regular people. Actually, everybody else was better than I was. But, just we're all skating with them. It was insane. It was fucking insane. Speechless. I don't even have, the only funny story I can think of for the weekend, because I was in a daze the whole weekend, it was so awesome, was how awful I played. Jesus Christ, it was fucking brutal. I really wanted to play a lot better than I did. I'm not going to lie to you. And everyone's doing that. No, you were good. For 3 years in, you were good. Don't sugarcoat it. I sucked. So I'm motivated to fucking to get better at that game. So if I ever get to do a play again, I can actually maybe handle the puck for more than 2 seconds without it getting taken away from me. But it was just the best fucking time I ever had. And I still can't believe it happened. I was actually sitting there, and Steve Burr was the other comic on it. I'm sitting on the bench, and he's playing defense with Paul Coffey. And I'm watching Paul Coffey pass the puck to my buddy. It was the sickest thing. It was the sickest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. So that happened. And so that was the great thing this weekend. Dude, Ty Domi showed us how he would beat up a guy a foot taller. He showed us his technique. I'm not going to get into it. Ask him about it someday if you ever run into him. It was fucking unbelievable. And they were all hilarious. They were all great guys. Who else? Randy Hilliard played for the Bruins for a while. Early on when I first started watching the Bruins, it was insane. It was absolutely insane. I'm trying to make sure I don't forget anybody. Rick Tocchet, Jesus Christ. He was skating by. Eddie Johnston. The Bruins goalie who won in 70 and 72. And I was like starstruck going, I just read Bobby Orr's book. Trying to look at an 8-year-old kid. And he goes, I talked to him this morning. I'll tell him you liked it. And I was like, oh my God, he knows Bobby Orr. It was insane. The greatest thing ever. If you're ever going to do a fantasy camp, there's no way there's one out there that's better than the Mario Lemieux one. I got to tell you, it was 100% first class. It was just the greatest thing ever. All right, so that's that. All right? Now, and right now, I know I'm going to get a bunch of tweets going, Bill, fuck you, go fuck yourself for having that experience. And you know what? You're right. I have no business having an experience like that. Thank you to Randy Bauman for hooking the whole goddamn thing up. I am on the wagon again. I was on the wagon until the fucking hockey thing this weekend, okay? It's not like, when guys you grew up watching start buying beers and shit, you're going to be like, no. Clark fucking Gillies. Sorry. I met Clark Gillies last night. Talked to him about his fights with Dave Schultz. I got to do that. Did I get to do it? Is it all a fucking dream? I don't even remember. So anyway, I am on the wagon, but I took 2 days off. So, it was insane. And I had like fucking 3 of those sandwiches, where they have the French fries and the coleslaw in them on the fucking bread. We closed down that place one night. Me, Steve Burr, and fucking Bauman, and a couple other people. We just closed that place down. Fucking Burn was an animal, man. Every time we went to the Penguins game, he ordered 2 of them. And then we went to the fucking place like the next day after our show. I should really know the name of the place. It's like famous. I never remember the name of the restaurants. He ate 2 more. He ordered 2 and I ate half of his, a pastrami one with French fries and fucking coleslaw. It was insane. And then last night, they had catering, and it was more of them. And you just kept eating. You can't not eat them. They're delicious. They make you obese. They're awesome. They're Pittsburgh. It's everything Pittsburgh. If you could make Pittsburgh into a fucking sandwich, this is the goddamn sandwich. Some of the best heart attack food you'll ever have. I would actually say that Pittsburgh rivals Chicago. Chicago. Phenomenal fucking heart attack food. Just that city is just all, it starts tomorrow. The diet starts tomorrow. I'm quitting drinking tomorrow. If I lived in Chicago or if I lived in Pittsburgh, I would be about 260 pounds. And at that point, you have to grow a mustache. Some sort of facial hair, to just hide your big fucking face. Dude, what a fucking weekend, man. Now all this shit's coming back to me. Trottier told the story of how he scored the fastest goal ever. I actually watched it on YouTube when I was looking up his highlights when I was going to go there to do the show, and I knew that he was going to be there. And next thing you know, he was talking about it and was standing there on a phone watching it. He scored in 5 seconds, and he's just graciously standing there like he hasn't won 6 Stanley Cups, talking to me like I'm fucking remotely on his level. Greatest fucking guys ever this weekend. He's telling me, breaking down the whole play of how he scored in 5 seconds and how it's only been tied. He did it against the Bruins, and it was just, what a fucking weekend, man. Ah, Christ, I'm floating here. So anyways, despite all of that, you know what's funny is I was eating those French fry coleslaw fucking, I almost said tuberculosis sandwiches, meat sandwiches. And the whole weekend, though, I was also doing yoga every day because I was not going to have my back give out on me while I was out on the ice because I already knew what my performance level was going to be like. So I kind of like offset it a little bit, but I'm looking pretty doughy these days. Not liking myself whatsoever. Once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to Randy Bauman for hooking me up with the gig. Thank you to Mario Lemieux and everybody at the camp, everybody that I played with, everybody who laughed at the jokes when me and Steve Burr told them. I don't want to speak for Steve, but I think I can. That was, we were just shaking our heads today. We flew back, we connected in Dallas, and we got, they were de-icing our plane, so we missed the connecting flight, and we got stuck there for a couple of hours. Those of you who follow me on Twitter, I was twittering my fucking misery when I was there. Until I saw the guy with the neck brace sneeze. That fucking killed me. The look of panic on his face because he knew he was going to sneeze and he knew it was going to hurt. If I could do that face on cue, I swear to God I could win a fucking Oscar. But anyways, we were sitting there in the airport just talking about how just shaking our head. It was unbelievable. As always, I'm not going to name names and all that type of shit. But it was fucking amazing, man. Fucking amazing. So that's it, man. That's how my 2014 started. And people actually have pictures of me now wearing Pittsburgh Penguin jersey. That's the only thing. But I was willing to pay that price. I got to thank Ty Domi for punching Ulf Samuelsson in the face. It's just, how do you fucking beat that? Where does 2014 go from here?